Welcome to the Lagos Avenue, well known to be the hub for roasted plantain here in the Greater Accra region, just around the East Legon area. I'm here today because continuously we are seeing the rise in food prices. Now you would think that roasted plantain, which is known in our local parlance as Kofi Brookman, wouldn't be affected by it because it's supposed to be food for all, including the rich and the poor. But don't be fooled. Now prices have hit almost everything, including street food and whichever food you think about. Today on the Citi Newsroom, we're looking at the rising prices of food, whether this will continue for a while or it will halt at a point. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. Welcome to the Citi Newsroom. So let me give you more of an idea of how prices of food rose over a period of time. Now, if you look at data from Isoko, it shows prices of foodstuff have seen a rise this year as compared to last year across most of the markets. Now, if you look at some of the foodstuffs, for example, yam, in January 2021, if you take the Teshiman market, for example, 250 tubers of yam in January was going for 800 cedis. Fast forward to 2022 this year, is going for 1,000 cedis. In April this year, going for 1,000 cedis, and for the same period last year, 2021, in April, going for 800 cedis. Let's look at maize. In January last year, 2021, it was at 200 cedis. For 2022, at 292 cedis. And then for the same maize, which is, we're looking at 100 kg sack, for April of 2021, it was going for 200 cedis. But if you look at April this year, 2022, it's gone up as much as 375 cedis. So this gives you an idea of how prices of food commodities have been rising over the period. So what's leading to these hikes in prices? For example, for plantain, which we all call Kofi Brookman, and it's supposed to be the food for everybody, Comfort here has been roasting plantain for like ever. So she understands the business of roasted plantain, and she will give us the dynamics to it. So see our plantain, no, what on our here war markets, no?
Pacho market, you know, 520 or
5. Nah, 20 cedis.
And now 420. The young Kumaka Krana ya 3 10 cedi.
Okay. It's depending on the size, no?
Yes.
Now this year, no, Obia can say prices are caught up. Prices are caught up. They won't say most of those are. They now can say leading to prices on caught up. Or plantain, a
year where the plantain are costro and take away near mana to turning in a beginning near many in our costro. Until now, my plantain on some price in our costro.
Okay. Now, all there no plantain no to our info.
Market, domain
market. Until January say now and now no 20 cedis for 4 no, depending on size no.
And some be a sad, but my friend said, "You do kakla." The size in you do. Yes.
Now last year no December honum now turn the same.
Last year na ye 3 10 cedi. But now ye na take away ni near man price in our firm kakla sin and nay.
Take away ni ye then I'm more kind of take up rubber no okay.
Yes.
O profits no I call up and I reduce it.
Our firm about firm kola and this a first no. Because first na near man price in our firm by to say dear a costro. But it's near man in a film lolo fair almost here to petrol. Car now would be free one now, then Yamaka Crabbe no 50 Ghana from market bar. Tiano no ma what it is any money in a free moi. But Kakalabi and Catio long caye 36. As a first and then can say 25 cities. They say near Tumukala Costro.
36 for Olonka.
Yes, 36.
But it is not only roasted plantain that has seen some bit of hike in the prices relating to foods that you expect that everybody can afford. Kenke has also gone up quite significantly. Akosia Ochre has been looking at why the prices of kenke is also rising today. Akosia.
I have come to Jamestown in Accra On this stretch, I could count more than 10 kinky houses. I understand these are hubs where individuals come to buy in bulk. This could be the right place to ask some of the traders why there has been a constant increase in the price of kinky.
Why am 450? Be an extra me 450. One more minute. Nyenu I connected 750,000.
You know,
750. One sister bring a cock when a man say, eh, equal batuni, banen were on, I on a be an ebate, 10 city.
last year to Moneke, no me
No me why all 15, why 35.
last year to maybe. She this year no day.
This year no they take we gidi na kan. This year potential no I last 2 weeks here. Ni 75, ni 55.
2 weeks ago or here 750. Ni this week 80.
Ni here 85, ke 75.
Na hey abeli efetomo ochifonchi agma abeli no ochifonchi be no senish kana sana ke jatwa ba ke pakwa ba lodu pa anye pakwa ba lodu ahun bo no ba na ka twa ba ke ba ke shin abeli ejala ne ke be sano so ke shika konkloko asename.
These traders have vowed to increase the prices higher if the situation does not change.
Shina ne abeli ya 6 million wo come here na no 3 cedi ke 2 cedi epo wo ba kpabo na ne 1 ya 4 ke 5.
Consumers are also bearing the brunt of the increase in prices.
Vraiment anyway yole I wait 1 cedi neighbor 5,000 abone
50 pesos.
50 pesos abone me ne aka 3 cedi imo akwe me ne nchuami ne ya tuni ma ko me 3 cedi e ya ko me be maje Chafe comment banku e ko me 2 cedi
First, you come here, 50 pesos.
Okay, first maybe.
Less than 1 year, you come 50 pesos. About 70 pesos. Neighbor 1 cedi. Be an 3 cedi. Mean for another 10 years. Before the 13th, before the 25th of January 2013. Another 10 years. And you come 3. Kena I want 2 cedi. 3 cedi pour the chair. E papa ko. Mi ka come 3. Kena ni e kwa yi. Be kena 20 Ghana kwa yi come 3. E won bi le ka ba e ni twani e. Be san ma jete. 1 p.
For kinky sellers here at Jamestown, they will increase their prices in the coming week or next 2 weeks. Reporting from Jamestown in Accra, my name is Akwesua Ochru for Citi News.
Now, one product that over the period we've had people who make it threaten to increase the price and in some cases shrink the quantity as bread. The cost of bread and the fact that this loaf, for example, will have the price go up. Today, we're also looking at why bread is also part of the conversation of rising food prices. We know of the Ukraine, the Russia war, but some say it's too early to affect the prices of bread. I've come to a bakery, still in the Greater Accra region. I've come to speak to this lady who does bread and meat pie and a lot of foods that you need flour to do.
It's been cool, so they started increasing the prices.
Which prices, the flour or what?
Price of the items, the flour, margarine, almost everything.
When did you notice the increase in the prices, the margarine and the flour? When did this start?
What I can say is it started after the increment of the fuel. Okay. Then our flour prices also increased. Later, everything. So now the flour was at first 200. But now it's
what size? The normal, this like this, right? The big, the thing.
Yeah, the big one. It was 200, but now it's 400. And then the margarine to the box, the bigger size, that one too, it was 200 the same, but now 400. So the customers are also complaining because we have to also do it such a way that we will get our.
And these are imported products.
Yes, yes. And some also, I think some Some come with the flour, some come from Takrade.
So how are you managing that? Are the sizes of your bread reducing, or yours has gone up as well? Because you people have been threatening us since January. You're going to increase the price of bread. You're going to. What is the situation?
We've not decreased the sizes, but the prices it has increased.
Okay. So this used to be how much? This is butter bread, right?
Yeah.
It used to be how much?
When they started increasing it, it was 7 cedis loaf, but now it's by starting from next week and next month we will sell it by 12 cedis.
So almost twice the price. So
but now it's 10 cedis. But next month by this time 12 cedis.
So the 7 cedis was in January or when? This year, January. And then you moved it to 10 cedis.
Yeah.
Now you are threatening to move it to 12 cedis.
Yes, please.
It's still the Citi Newsroom, and I am at the Agbogboloshi market, one of the biggest markets here in the Greater Accra region. Now, over the years, we've been monitoring the prices of foodstuffs. Now, my colleague Nashika Caesar will give us an idea of the cost of food from 2020 all the way to 2021 and 2022. Shika.
Well, Vivian, when I compare the prices of tomatoes and onions between January and April of 2019 and then same period in 2021 across selected markets I visited, I observed a consistent rise in the prices. Let's go back in time to 2019 to listen to some of the sellers.
Paint rubber no 14 cedis.
That's an important for more.
Nebo akosoro. Entosi wo ho no. Ema no. Ni ehwie no 14. Any a DJ 100, says Yano, Yadj a back, near the 5, says Yadi just 70.
It is 7 cedis, 14 tomato. No. Okay. Yes, you are an onion seller. So how much do you sell your onions?
Oh, any price we can give you. You have 5 cedi, 10 cedi, 20 Ghana, 40 Ghana, the big bag, 500 Ghana. We have 250.
25 cedi.
This one is 25 cedis.
Yes. And this one is 20 cedi.
That one is 20 cedis. How much is this one? Is the same thing?
No, this one is bigger than that one.
So this is 25. How much is that one?
And this one, they are the same.
Oh, yeah, that was what I meant. Okay. What about the ones you've tied in the polythene? How much are these?
3 cedi, 5 cedi, and the big one are 10 cedis.
Bucket here were only 30. I'm watching say only 20. Come up, Papa, what about chain only? A year 25 from what I. I'm watching say 20. More Papa year 18 what I.
So yes, if you compare the market prices from 2019 to 2021, you'll notice that the prices of these commodities went up.
So from the figures we're seeing from sugar and from indeed my figures I brought to you earlier on the Lagos Avenue and even the prices of Kenke, it is obvious that prices of foodstuff have gone up. But what actually led to the rise in the prices of foodstuff? I'm taking you to Isoko. They monitor the prices of food commodities all year round. They will give us a better understanding of why the prices of foodstuffs went up.
I have to say that from what we are getting, the increase in food prices, food commodity prices, is it's a bit high, especially for this time of the year. So, for example, in markets like Goso, right? So from January to now, things like maize is increased by about 25%.
25%.
Yes, from January to now. Something like soya bean as well is increased by about 25%. But things like rice is relatively stable. This year we're seeing much higher prices. And
what happened?
Yeah, I think perhaps production was not as much as it should have been. That's
year.
Yes, towards the minor season of last year. The rainfall was a bit difficult to predict. So in our tour, for some of our projects, we did go to the northern region and interact with some farmers. In our tour, the rains were a bit difficult to predict. So there were cases where people had to plant and had to destroy them because the rain wasn't timed well and things like that. So I think climate change and predicting the rains has been a bit difficult. That's another factor. And of course, like I explained, the cost of inputs, right? So some people were probably not able to plant at all, or not to the size that they would have liked. And so these factors would have affected the volume of produce that would have been available. But I believe that in all of that, this is not a new problem. And the government of the day, right from the very first government of the Fourth Republic, have been dealing with this. And I believe that it's something that has been identified and is being dealt with.
It's still the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kailoko. We're still looking at the rising prices of food across the country. The question we all keep asking ourselves, is this going to continue? Are we going to see prices of food continue to rise? And if so, for how long? I'm taking you to the University of Ghana to speak to the Dean of the School of Agriculture. She will provide us answers to these questions of how long you're going to be paying more for the food you buy.
For certain foods that I always expect that with the turn of the year, from January to June, I expect to pay more. Okay. So yam, plantain, cassava. Cassava dry season is difficult to uproot. So usually, cassava price will go up. Yam we have already harvested, and a lot of it is sold because these are not durables. So you can't store them for a long time. So the little that is stored, then as economics will have it, when the supply reduces, prices will go up. So during this period, I expect that even maize, we have now planted maize. So the old maize, although we store maize for like a year, because we don't have a lot of warehouses and our farms are small scale, we don't harvest a lot. So the stocks run out, and again we come to the situation of low supply, and given the demand, the price will go up. Right. If the demand also goes up, the price will even go up. When we take wheat, because it's 100% import, and this is our staple, bread, we have a lot of pastries now. Ghanaians depend so much on wheat now. Maybe the war, we can put it in, although it's a shock. For me, it's too short a time now. After June, I think that if after June, this war is lingering on, then maybe because of low supply, because they themselves are not pushing it on the market, and we don't shift our eyes to Nigeria, South Africa, Canada. You know, the northern hemisphere is also producing a lot of wheat.
We saw the Russian embassy here in Ghana say, wait a minute, the rising prices cannot be because of the war between us and Ukraine, because 2 months is too short a period to see that.
I agree.
So your prediction is by August, we should see the prices reduce, and this is a usual trend.
Yes. What will intercept our maize and some of our grains is again fertilizer, which we say a lot is also coming from Russia and Ukraine.
So for those ones, we could have a bit of pricing challenges
because of supply.
Okay. So your predictions for till December?
I think that 3 years ago, even when COVID came, we thought that we wouldn't get food. You remember we rushed and all that. We turned around. We will turn around.
You are so confident in the trend based on, of course, you are in this sector.
Cut back our food a little eating. We eat too much.
So
you see a bowl of fufu, just cut back a little bit.
From August to December, what usually happens with the prices?
That's why I'm saying that prices slump because economics, the supply will increase for most of our food crops. When July we start harvesting, July, August, September, October, Z4, Infante, that's how we call August, Z4.
What does it mean?
Eat too much food.
Okay, interesting. So you were saying that even over the years,
in July they call it Kitawunsa, because you see it's raining now. Everything is there. You see everything nice, but you can't harvest. Just August,
everything is now ready for harvest.
Well, that's interesting.
You go to Eastern region, they'll beat you with garden eggs, okra, everything. Go to Adosu.
So this is a trend that has always been there.
Yes,
we cannot blame.
This year, as I said, maybe this year the fuel prices, and it's a structural issue. As for when fuel prices galloped the way we saw it in this last 2 months, it will affect the transportation of the little food from the rural to the urban.